Hey guys, I thought it would be kind of fun to hop on here and do a little bit of a get ready with me while I'm doing hair and makeup. It's been forever and a hot minute since I've actually filmed with you guys, and I apologize for that. I don't know why, but my computer had issues a while back, so I basically lost all of my ability to sit there and record and edit videos on my laptop. I put it in, apparently with some sort of issues with Windows 10 when I did the update with my laptop. It was not a supported format for all of the features that I had on my laptop. So that was fine and dandy and a fun learning experience for me on that regards. And then I tried to turn on my laptop the other day, and now it's saying that I need to have my OS reinstalled, basically. So of course, I've been having some fun times trying to get that in there, to do that and all that whatnot. And I recently got one of these curling devices for Christmas. So my hair is a bugger to curl. It takes forever and a sweet minute to do it all. And then of course, by the time I get to the one side, I realize I have no time for work. Stuff that I wanted to get it done beforehand. So then I'm sitting here last minute, as always, trying to get it done. So I end up curling my hair a little bit late. One side always gets kind of left out with the good curling stuff. I always end up, unfortunately, trying to rush it, which is always a fun time. So this is why we're sitting here like this with me with like barely done hair on one side of my head, and one side's relatively curled, and all of that good fun stuff. And then one side always turns out better, of course. So then at the end of this, I'll probably just be pushing it up because I don't like the end product of it. But I thought it would be kind of fun to sit there and revisit what's new and exciting with me. So yeah, so basically I got this for Christmas. I also got a Color Institute kind of like mini palette. It had separate eyeshadow colors and a couple of other stuff. Some eyeliner, I think a mascara. I don't think it had lip products for Christmas, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised with the quality of that. Ooh, that's the snarl. And that, and that. The only thing I don't like is this can sometimes knot for no reason. Like, it just knots my hair. So yeah, so that's fun and dandy. I tried that. Really pleasantly surprised. Really enjoyed it. Very excited about stuff like that. Kind of trying to get my house back together for the longest time. My boyfriend of 1.5 years now, we're actually hitting almost a year and 8 months, so almost 2 years, moved in with me back in August, and some of my rooms still be a freaking mess. And that's okay. I'm glad he's here. But it is trying to find his space and my space, because I had been living on my own about 9 months by the time he moved in, or not 9 months, 9 years by the time he moved in with me. So it's kind of that balance of like, not everything in this house is my space, and not everything in this house is my area to put stuff. I have to share, which is somewhat of a concept for me, I would say, just because I'm not used to having to share space with somebody. So it's kind of interesting in that regard, of that kind of dynamic of trying to realize that, you know what, yeah, not everything's going to be my space anymore, and if I want him to be happy with space, I need to share somewhat some space in that regard. And then just we've already talked about moving, actually, at this point, of like finding a place with more space for both of us, like a 1-bedroom. Right now I have a bachelor, so he has a very big bed that we moved in here with us, because at that time I didn't have like a really good bed that I was concerned about losing. So we did that, and that's a nice bed, actually. It's about a queen size, so it's kind of nice to have that. I like it. Sleep nicely, actually, more space for both of us, which is good, because, you know, we'd been both dealing with that beforehand, about not having a lot of space. Oop, that was hot. And, oh. So yeah. yeah, so we kind of live with that. I thought I could zoom you in, but I can't in this mode, so that's fine. So yeah, so that's basically what's been going on right now. We've been dealing with, I went on vacation actually, not too far back in October there. Ooh, okay. This is the only problem is it likes to kind of snarl hair a little bit. There we go. I went to Disneyland this time with my sister. That one was really quite fun. That one we did about a week there, including flying and stuff like that, and that was a good amount of time. Enough that I really enjoyed it. We got a good amount of stuff accomplished, but I still really didn't have a lot of chance to miss home like crazy. And ironically, when we had gone, Adriano, my boyfriend, had moved in with me about month, maybe a month and a week by the time that we left to go do that trip. So it was kind of unique in that regard because I just got used to having someone here. Ooh, unplugged it again. Having someone here with me more frequently than I am used to, of course. And then it was time for me to leave and do my trip. And then when I come back, I have to learn how to live as a duo again. And it just was very interesting because it's kind of hard for me to kind of understand that, you know, just not everything is my space anymore, that I really need to let him have some room, some area to put stuff. If you want him to be happy with you, crazy talk, I know, you kind of need to do that. So it was kind of amusing for me in that regard to learn these lessons as I am on my feet doing this. You know, it's kind of just really interesting, I find, in the grand scheme of things. This is getting quite hot, actually. That you kind of need to really be fair about personal boundaries and stuff. And I think we learned that a one bedroom definitely is a better plan for us as we go forward in life. Just because even if we do have a little bit of that kind of disgruntlement period that you're naturally going to have with someone when you live with them all the time, this way it's going to give us that little bit of a separation. So like if I want to do my own thing and I want to go chill in the bedroom or have a bubble bath kind of thing, it's kind of easy to do that without being too much in someone's way here or on top of someone here like we are right now. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We need to start looking for places in this area for a reasonably good deal. We're talking about, you know, maybe looking for a house at some point in the nearish future. Thankfully, I finally got him talked into a renovation home. Because beforehand, he was really hardcore set on building a home new and then having it done for you and all of that whatnottery. And that is fine for some people. If that's what you prefer, that's great. Good for you. However, for me and my family, we were all raised relatively handy people. So if I need something fixed, very rarely do I need to call someone to fix it. I can Google it and kind of understand what it is they're expecting me to do, or I can just go ahead and do it myself because I do know how to do it already. So for me, I'm not a person who can sit back easily and let someone else do all of the work for me and enjoy the process. I'm not going to really enjoy that. I would like to be hands-on and do it myself. I also feel that when you kind of do this stuff, ooh, that was a little too much hair apparently. Ooh, come on, let it go. There we go. When you do stuff yourself, it's a little bit easier to move plans. So like if I want a kitchen tap here and a pot tap there, you know, kind of thing, I can just do that. I know I need to run the plumbing. Okay, that's cool. But for someone else to come in and say, oh no, because you're, we don't recommend that with this layout of a kitchen or blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just a little bit more of a hassle. And then I need to pay someone for their design, which I may or may not like. And this gives us the ability to pay for this kind of like what we really want to happen plan over a longer period of time. That's really kind of why I'm really quite a fan of this type of scheme. So like when we move in, I want basically move-in ready house, right? Like everything that I really do desire in a house, that needs to have that. But something like maybe I don't like the appliances, or maybe I am not a fan of their painting scheme, stuff like that, you know? Or even like layout of a house. That part, as long as it isn't in disarray or disrepair, I don't care. I can wait to have my forever home kind of idea completed when we can afford to. That's fine to me, but Adriana was really struggling with that when we were first talking about this stuff. And that's why I really kind of found out that if I talked to him kindly about this and said, hey, you know, we realize though we can go in and swoop a house at this deal, and then we get a really good deal on that in the long run because we're doing the repairs, we're doing this, whereas these people are doing the move-in ready kind of conditions, if you will. And even then, that's not always the case, because maybe you didn't appreciate their color scheme in the kitchen, or you didn't like the layout of the kitchen or something like that. This way, it kind of makes it a little bit easier in that regard, where I can come back and I still can change this, but we have time, right? Whereas this is like, we're putting our money towards something right away. Instead of renting all the time, I'd rather kind of get like an older home, like a bungalow or like a 50s style home. Those ones are kind of really where I really appreciate the style, because a lot of the cute features that they have are not easily replicated anymore, and the quality and the structuring of that stuff is usually not as good as it is now, because they're trying to cut costs, or the materials just aren't available anymore, stuff like that. So I'm really quite a fan of that type of house than he was initially. Gonna look at my hair. Yeah, that's pretty curly, but that's fine. It'll relax out a little bit. I'm not too concerned about that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that and turn it off. I'm gonna let it chill for a bit. So yeah, so that's basically kind of where we were sitting at initially, was he was not quite a fan of that idea. I, however, was quite a fan of the idea. And then we ended up watching some fixer-upper shows. I think the one show actually is called Fixer-Upper, ironically enough. And he really quite liked that idea. He kind of realized, you know, yeah, actually, you can spend a little bit cheaper on one house, and you do the work, and that's great, and we save the money because we did the work, and we're not having these people do all of the work for us. So I was quite happy with that, and it's good for us in the long run because we're going to be saving more money as we go, which is something that I'm quite excited about, actually. Volume boosting spray. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it a little bit right here. Kind of scrunch my hair. There. So I wanted to have a little bit of like a girl chat with you guys, kind of thing, and then show you kind of that fun little design that we've been working on there. New product, which is always nice. I'll go ahead and show you from the back. That's kind of what we're looking at there. A little bit of curls and stuff like that. I like it. Kind of like a loose, tumbly wave kind of thing, you know, not too shabby. This is something I totally am actually kind of happy with the way that it turned out. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of chunkily twirl my hair, as I call it, to myself a little bit. And there we go. Curled hair. Bye guys, I'll talk to you again soon.